Here's a question I often ask leaders. Are you leading with rules or relationships? And more importantly, what's the impact of that choice? So let's start with rules. Rules relate to job descriptions, policies, safety protocols, codes of conduct. All of these things are essential. They exist for a very good reason. They direct and they protect. They give structure, clarity, and provide accountability. But here's the catch. It's how you use them that defines your leadership style. I believe poor managers use rules kind of like a blunt instrument. It's a way to control, intimidate, and demand compliance, whereas great leaders, on the other hand, use them as tools. They use them as a tool to guide, educate, coach, and even mentor. They understand that rules should empower, not suppress. Their structure should support growth and not stifle it. Now, let's talk relationships. Too often, we confuse professional relationships with friendships. And while rapport is valuable, I believe there's a clear distinction between colleagues, coworkers, partners, stakeholders, versus pals, buddies, and chums. Now, I think language actually really matters. Titles matter. They shape the expectations, boundaries, and the tone of the workplace and the culture that you're creating within your team or your company. Now, over the course of my career, I've worked in both types of environments. I've seen firsthand how the words we use and the way we treat one another either builds a culture of respect or can blur lines and create confusion. And this comes from working in a warehouse after college to a global multinational firm. Now, here's where this gets really interesting. You'll probably recognize the following if you've worked with me or if you follow Gallup, the organization. According to Gallup's Global Engagement Survey, one of the most critical elements that drives high engagement and performance is clarity. Specifically, survey item number 1 states, and I quote, "I know what is expected of me at work." Now think about that. Knowing what's expected, important? Yeah. Structure? That's rule-based leadership. People need clarity. They want to understand the boundaries, the responsibilities, and the outcomes. Now, Gallup doesn't stop there though. In fact, many of the top drivers of engagement are deeply relationship-based. For example, again, I quote, "I have a best friend at work. My supervisor or someone at work seems to care about me as a person. In the past 7 days, I've received recognition or praise. And there is someone at work who encourages my development." End quote. These are not compliance metrics. They're connection metrics. So what does this tell us? Well, rules without relationships feels cold, harsh, and even rigid. Relationships without rules can create chaos, blurred lines, and unclear expectations. Now, I don't think neither one of them on its own creates long-term success or really a healthy culture in your workplace. And I also believe the best workplaces and the best leaders are able to strike a balance. They provide structure and direction while nurturing trust and connection. What they do is they set clear expectations and invest in people. They honor the policy and process while creating space for coaching, mentorship, and genuine care and connection. So here's my question to you if you're a leader. How are you showing up? Are you leaning too far into the rules or too far into the relationships? Think about this. What message are your words and your tone and your actions actually sending to your team? It may not always be what you think it is or what you hope it is. Because the most successful leaders know it's not either or, it's both and. Rules and relationships, clarity and care, expectations and encouragement. That is the kind of leadership that builds performance and loyalty, it sustains engagement, and it creates the most powerful cultures around.